Okay, the lesson 7 from the Eureka packet is marked up and marked down. In this packet, we're going to use algebra equations to solve word problems that involve marked up and marked downs. Okay. There's a couple vocabulary words that are important for you to know. You may want to pause and kind of jot these down if you need to reference back to them later. Markup is the amount of increase in a price, and markdown is the amount of decrease in a price. The original price is simply the starting price. It's sometimes called the cost or the wholesale price. Wholesale price is the same thing as the original price. Selling price is the original price plus the marked up or minus the marked down. So when you go to a store, you buy it for the selling price after the store has made their marked up or marked down adjustments. Marked up or marked down rate. The markup rate is the percent increase in the price, and the marked down rate or the discount rate is the percent decrease in the price. Okay, these next two equations on here are really important, and I would suggest that you kind of write them down. Most markup problems can be solved by this equation. Your selling price equals 1 plus m times your whole, where m is the markup rate and the whole is the original price. Okay, and you can insert, if you want to use w for whole and m for markup, or if you want to use y and x, it doesn't matter. Okay. Most markdown problems can be solved by the equation. Same thing, except we're going to subtract the markdown rate. So selling price equals 1 minus m, and then all multiplied times the whole, where m is again the markdown rate, and the whole is the original price. Okay, looking in our packets, at example 1, a video game markup. Games Galore Superstore buys the latest video game at the wholesale price of $30. The markup rate at Games Galore Superstore is 40%. You use your allowance to purchase the game at the store. How much will you pay, not including tax? Letter A. Write an equation to find the price of the game at the Games Galore Superstore and explain your equation. So go ahead, pause if you need to kind of work this out before you move on, and I kind of show you the answers there. Okay, if you remember, quantity equals percent times whole. So your markup to your selling price equals 1 plus m times your whole. When you put that in, I use P for selling price. Okay, P equals 100% plus 40%, and that's all multiplied by 30. Okay, and all that asks for you there is to get that equation. The equation shows that the price of the game at the store is equal to the wholesale cost, which is 100%, and the 40% increase. This makes the new price 140% of the wholesale price. Okay, letter B. Now you're just solving this equation from part A. Again, pause and solve. Okay, P equals 100% plus 40% times 30. That's simply just the equation from part A. And then 100% plus 40% is 140%, or 1.4 times 30. P equals 42, meaning you would pay $42 if you bought it from the Games Galore Superstore. All right, letter C. What was the total markup of the video game, and explain? The total markup was $12 because you simply just take your 42 minus your 30, and that gives you 12. And last, letter D. You and a friend are discussing markup rate. He says that an easier way to find the total markup is by multiplying the wholesale price of $30 by 40%. Do you agree with him? Why or why not? Pause and answer. Okay, you should have said yes, that you agree with him, because your 40% times your 30 gives you 12. Okay, the markup rate is a percent of the wholesale price. Therefore, it makes sense to multiply them together, because going back to remembering quantity equals percent times whole. That will also work to do it that way. Okay, in this problem, which quantity is the whole? And what does a marked up mean? Okay, for example 2, we're going to be taking discounts off of things, off of different prices here, and think about, does order matter? If you take 10% off and then 20% off, or 20% off and then 10% off, does that matter? Let's look at example 2, Black Friday. A $300 mountain bike is discounted by 30% and then discounted an additional 10% for shoppers who arrive before 5 a.m. Find the sales price of the bicycle. Okay, if you find the price with just the 30% discount, okay, let's call D the discount price at the 30% discount rate. So you're going to take D equals 100% minus 30%, all multiplied by 300 for the $300 mountain bike. Okay, and then we have 0.7 or 70% times 300. D should equal 210, and that's the discount price with the 30% discount. Okay, B, letter B. In all, by how much has the bicycle been discounted in dollars? And go ahead and explain that as well. Okay, to do this, you'll need to go ahead and take your 30% and then find the price with an additional 10% discount. Okay, and that brings you to $189. Okay, 30% off was 210, an additional 10% brings you to 189. Now B, in all, by how much has the bicycle been discounted in dollars? Just all you need to do then is 300 minus 189, and that gives you $111. The bicycle has been discounted $111 because the original price was $300. With both discounts, your new price is $189. Okay, they're showing the 10% discount there. Letter C. After both discounts were taken, what was the total percent discount? A final discount of 40% means that you would add 30% to 10% and apply it to the same whole. This is not the case because the additional 10% discount is taken after the 30% discount has been applied. So you're only receiving 10% discount on 70% of the original price. A 40% discount would make the final price $180 because 180 equals 60% of 300. That's not the case. However, the actual final discount as a percent is 37%. Okay, let P here be the percent the sales price is of the original price, and let F be the actual final discount as a percent. You have in mind your part equals your percent times your whole. Okay, we have 189 equals the percent times 300. Okay, 1 over 300 times 89 to get rid of that 300 on that side. That gives us 0.63 equals 63%, which equals P. Okay, we take 100% minus our 63%, and that gives us 37%. You gotta take one at a time there. Take the 30% and then the 10%. You cannot just add them together. Alright, last one, letter D here. Instead of purchasing the bike for $300, how much would you save if you bought it before 5 a.m.? So you got that extra discount. How much extra would you save? You should have $111 because 300 minus 189 is where you get that 111. Okay, if you feel like you need some extra practice, feel free to go through some of these exercises here and kind of help out. If you have questions, that's what we'll do tomorrow.